Everybody, welcome to Bucketman Scouting. In today's video, I want to be talking about the toilet bowl that was the Denver Broncos versus the Cleveland Browns. Yesterday, I quit watching this game at half, and I didn't have the time to do a post-game with my partner in crime, Chopped Liver at Denver Broncos Mile High View. So I watched the rest of the second half this morning, and this game was an utter shit show from all three parties that were in this game, the Cleveland Browns, the Denver Broncos, and the refereeing. I just thought this was a poor game on all three sides. But, the Denver Broncos and the drunken fans and the low IQ fans that really don't understand the game of football are pushing this narrative that the Denver Broncos have dominated these past 5 games. When you have a team that coughs it up left and right, that runs stupid plays offensively, that don't attack the weak spots of this, Walmart General's defense, then you deserve to lose this game. You have the refs that, I believe that are in the pockets of the Walmart Generals, and this is more of an NFL issue to me because the refs just really want the Denver Broncos to get in the playoffs. I mean, it's not that the Broncos are dominating these games, and if you watched my All-22 film breakdowns, I have said good things about the Broncos offensively in certain aspects, but to me, the bad outweighs the good. And when I do this All-22 film breakdown this week, I'm going to show you guys why this was a toilet bowl type game. And there's a reason why I started this video with the whole holding that was completely missed by Garrett Bowles throughout this entire game. I believe that the whole entire offensive line for the Broncos was holding left and right, and I guess that they let offensive linemen get away with it now. I mean, there is no crisp, fundamental technique anymore in the NFL, and the product at the NFL is completely dog shit. Again, I don't think the Broncos are their 53-man roster. I don't believe in their 53-man roster because I believe what you're seeing now is a product of the NFL helping out the Denver Broncos and teams and refs helping out the Broncos. I really do. I really do believe that because of what I see on the tape, what I see on the All-22 film. And you will have the typical drunken fans and the idiotic low IQ Bronco content creators that will say, well, you don't know what you're talking about. Obviously, I know what I'm talking about because the players that we have said like McMillan, Shamichael P. Ryan, all that, this, that, and the third, we've said good things about the Broncos. But again, I believe the bad outweighs the good. And I've showed you guys on the All-22 film breakdown. And I believe that is a microcosm of our society is people just don't want to put in the hard work. They don't want to look at the truth. And these low IQ Bronco content creators that are puffing out their chest, I mean, they prey on the weak. They absolutely prey on the weak-minded. And these weak-minded Bronco fans just flock over to those stupid individuals that are Bronco content creators. I mean, they don't know shit about the game of football. I'm just going to be perfectly honest here. I'm done sugarcoating stuff. They don't understand the game of football. When I'm a linebackers coach, I demand excellence. I don't demand mediocrity. And these Bronco content creators are happy that we could possibly get in the wild card. And the reason why I believe that the NFL is pushing the Broncos to be in the wild card is because of ratings. And on top of that, it's more of a Sierra Taylor Swift sideshow more than the product on the field. Because I don't believe that this Broncos team is a playoff team. I really don't. I will go to my grave saying that this current iteration of the Denver Broncos is not a playoff team. I just don't believe they are. Their 53-man roster and what you see on tape doesn't correlate to a playoff-worthy team. And to be perfectly honest with you, there's not a lot of teams in the NFL that I believe are playoff worthy because there's a lot of stupid teams in the NFL. A lot of stupid teams in the NFL. But the Broncos it is so blatantly obvious that the refs help out. It is blatantly obvious when you look at it from a coaching perspective and when you take your orange and blue colored glasses off. I mean, it is blatantly obvious that the NFL obviously is in cahoots with the Broncos. And granted, yes, the calls on the Browns against the Broncos, some of them were egregious. I will agree with certain individuals on that point. But the Broncos, I mean, it is blatantly obvious when you have the entire offensive line holding left and right throughout this entire game, and even in the second half when I watched it, and when you have Patrick Surtain jumping on receivers' backs, and you have when you have the Browns defensive lineman, like a guy like Myles Garrett, who's one of the better D linemen in the league, 5-techs, when you see him jumping and then he gets back behind the line of scrimmage before the play's even snapped and they call that as an offside. I mean, that's not an offside. If he gets back behind the neutral zone and behind the line of scrimmage before that ball is snapped, then it shouldn't be called an offside. And they were calling that left and right in this game. The pass interference call on Greg Newsome against Cortland Sutton earlier in the game, that was not pass interference. He clearly turned his head and he had leverage on that play. But again, you're not going to get this anywhere else. And again, I just want to reiterate this point too. This isn't a fan-centric channel. The Bucket Man scouting is for educational purposes only. This isn't for the fans that are into the hopium factor. That are into, we might be going to a wild card game. Yeah. Like, that's not what Pat Bowlen strived for, was wild card berths. I mean, it really blows my mind that people just truly don't understand the game of football. And, the NFL has completely ruined it because there's no good coaching anymore. There's no good technique anymore. And there's no crisp precision football anymore. That's why I like the college game more than the NFL game. Yes, the college game has its weaknesses, but you don't have officiating when it's an even matchup dictating these games. That's just the facts. And that's what you get here. You get factual information at Bucket Man Scouting. And you don't get the All-22 anywhere else except for yours truly, the Bucket Man, Bubble Man, and Denver Broncos Mile High View. That's just the reality of the situation. I'm so sick and tired of the excuse making that the NFL gets, that the Denver Broncos get. It is nauseating. It is fucking nauseating. I mean, there's a reason why I turned the game off at half. Yes, I had other obligations I had to attend to. But my God, did I sit there and enjoy from... And again, I don't watch this game from a fan perspective. And again, I don't check my watch to see what my fan status is at right now. I mean, those are for the delusional, low IQ Bronco content creators. Again, but I look at the game from a coaching perspective. And it's nauseating to see this type of bullshit go on. It is fucking nauseating. So, you guys can have your little win streak, your little, hopium. Yeah, we're going to the Super Bowl. Oh! But I believe this is a short-term gain and a long-term loss. And I'm not going to back down from that point. Because what the tape shows is this team isn't a playoff team. It's not. The 53-man roster and what you see on tape. And you know what? It wouldn't shock me one bit even if they did make the playoffs with the help of the refs and other teams playing like shit and playing stupid football, doing end-around crap. I mean, you have the Cleveland Browns. I mean, that quarterback for the Browns absolutely sucks. He can't read the field and he can't hit the side of the barn to save his life. You have their receivers dropping balls left and right. You have the play calling with these stupid end arounds getting away from what works when they were running the football there for a minute. They were having success. What's going to happen when a team faces the Broncos for a full 4 quarters and doesn't turn the ball over left and right and run simplistic football. We've seen it. The Vikings were doing it for 3 quarters, and then they gave the game away. I mean, Cleveland, did you take the Vikings script? And granted, I understand. If I am a coach for the Cleveland Browns, if I'm a player for the Cleveland Browns, I am very upset with the officiating that was going on in this game. I mean, the catering and the bullshit that was happening throughout this game towards the Denver Broncos, because granted, the Browns got calls that were bullshit, but my God, it was like an avalanche of calls against the Browns in this game. I mean, my God, it was ridiculous. So, at the end of the day, I'm not going to back down from the point that, again, the Denver Broncos should be thanking the NFL for where they are at right now. That's all I got to say. Bucketman Scouting is signing out.